How much muscle did I gain in 365 days? This is a scientific experiment by Jeff Nippard. Let's find out, how far can a natty truly push?
I'm going to train as perfectly as humanly possible. That means I'm going to run the most science-based, optimized plan and track every single set of every workout. No skipped workouts, no lazy sets, no exceptions. I'm also going to track every single calorie I eat every day for a year straight. And in this video, I'll show you my full results.
I can't do that. It's too feminine coded. What am I saying? Girls don't even do that. It's spiritually homosexual.
Tracking every little detail?
Just eat the food. If you want to grow as a natural, you must consume.
To start the experiment, I'll get a DEXA scan to measure my body fat percentage and an ultrasound to measure my muscle size. Then, after a full year of optimized training, we'll measure exactly how much muscle I gained. But here's the best part. For any of you that are new to the gym, I'm going to also do the exact same experiment on my biological brother, who's a similar height as me, with the similar genetics, but here's the catch. He does not lift at all. He's a completely untrained beginner. This way, we'll get to see the difference.
How do you not train if you're Jeff's brother? You just get mogged on a daily basis? By a science-based lifter? I mean, come on!
Between someone who's been training for over 15 years versus someone totally new to lifting. You see, you build most of your muscle in your first few years of lifting. Then it slows down. And there's a theory out there that once you've been training for 5 or maybe 10 years, you've built all the muscle you can build. People call this your natural ceiling for muscle growth. And for the last few years, I've been thinking that I've reached it. Despite training as hard as usual, I just haven't really seen any noticeable gains in the last few years. And once you hit your natural ceiling, you have a decision to make. You can either maintain what you've built, saying goodbye to any new gains, or you can take anabolic steroids.
Or you could just hop on TRT at the age of 23 like Alex Eubanks. You guys know that kid? Blasting and cruising test under the guise of medicinal restorative TRT. What are we talking about here? God, the shitness industry has no aura.
I've definitely thought about using steroids, but I don't want to, because the side effects scare me. I also don't want to just maintain if I can still make gains. As a bodybuilder, making gains is kind of the point, right?
Or you could just learn a sport. You can use the muscle for something. Get good at a skill and activity.
And besides, there's really no science on this so-called natural ceiling anyway. It might not even be a real thing. So for me, this experiment will answer the question of whether or not I've reached my natural ceiling, or if I simply haven't been training as hard and smart as I could be.
This is going to be a VSL. I'm going to be sold an app. I can already feel it in my bones.
For my brother Brad, it'll show how much muscle a new lifter can gain in 1 year of dedicated training. Let's find out. Okay guys, it's day 1 of the experiment. We're here at McMaster University, and we're gonna get a whole bunch of tests done. Then we're gonna come back exactly 1 year from today and see how much muscle we built. Let's get started. To start, every good experiment needs a good hypothesis. And upon deeper reflection,
I hypothesize that science-based lifters train to moderate discomfort.
I think I have not reached my natural ceiling for muscle growth. I think that if I really give it my all for a full year, I'll see some new growth. And to set the standard high, I'm gonna take an ambitious guess at how much muscle I'll gain this year.
I think he should hit 270 pounds and then get cosmetic surgery.
Guess that I will gain.
This is Third Eye Global, the most disruptive multimedia network in the cyberspace. And what we're doing right there is called a callback. All the videos will soon blur together, and we'll be referencing within our own cyclone, our own vortex of slop.
4 pounds of muscle. I think Brad will gain double that, 8 or 9 pounds of muscle. I'm gonna say 9 pounds of muscle. What do you guys think? Is that ambitious?
Post-cut? Or...
Is that too much?
I think 4 pounds of muscle is quite a bit.
PhD in exercise science. No comment.
I mean, do you know who I am? No.
For him,
Yeah.
it might be undershooting
Okay.
a bit. For you, man, you know natural bodybuilding. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard, man.
Challenge accepted.
What's the point of a PhD in exercise science? What do you get out of that? I feel like that's the one degree where you need to post physique. There has to be some athletic component to your glasses pushing. Well, actually, this is the most optimal.
So, with my own research team as my biggest haters, we got our starting measurements done. 5'4.7".
0.7, yes, sir. If you work it out,
Take that, internet. Says 5'2".
Yeah.
First up, we use this DEXA machine to measure our starting body fat percentage and lean mass.
So what did you predict you were at?
I think I said 14.6.
6.
It said that I was 15.8% body fat. That was a bit higher than I expected. I thought I'd be closer to 13 or 14%. But hey, maybe I'll get that down by the end. It also said I had 132.7 pounds of lean mass. Lean mass includes your muscle mass, but it also includes your organs and body water. After that, we got our muscle thickness measured using ultrasound. This device sends sound waves through your body that reflect back, creating echoes that can generate an image of how thick the muscle.
That's right. Bro science is still undefeated. You're going to want to have a protein shake after your workout to maximize protein synthesis. I can't speak. It's called your anabolic window.
Is. We did thickness measurements for our biceps and quads. Brad's starting body fat was 36.2%.
Shh, Brad is a high-calorie individual.
Also higher than both of us thought. Most people probably do think they're leaner than they actually are. We're also doing regular posing updates to assess our visual progress. So Brad and I made our own posing room to make sure we'll have the exact same lighting and angle for the before.
The only thing an ultrasound should be used for is to look at your ovaries, which you might have to do after training science-based.
And the after. For our first workout of the experiment, we're doing an upper body session, and this is the split we'll be running all year. It's a mix between an upper-lower split and a push-pull leg split. Upper on Monday, lower on Tuesday. Those are the more strength-focused workouts. Then we'll take a rest day, followed by 3 hypertrophy-focused workouts, a push day, chest, shoulders, and triceps, a pull day, back and biceps, and another leg day. Now, at this point, you may be wondering exactly what I'm doing differently this year. If I've been training already for 15 years, what am I doing differently for this experiment that I wasn't doing already? Well, with training, there are 3 new things. First, I'm taking the last set of every single exercise to failure. No exceptions. Even on heavy compound lifts like presses and squats, I'm pushing that last set until I physically cannot get the weight up and literally drop it, obviously using safety bars.
Is that ideal? Do you want to be frying your central nervous system like that? The strongest I've ever gotten, which the byproduct being muscle, I was taking long rest sets and prioritizing recovery.
I don't know if failure makes a big difference for hypertrophy, but the latest science definitely shows a trend. The harder you push, the more growth you tend to see. Before, I'd always leave 1 or 2 reps in the tank on compound exercises, even on the last set, and I still think that's a good idea for most people. But I want to go ham this year, leaving no uncertainty of whether I could have done more. Second, I'm only doing optimal exercises. If it doesn't build maximum muscle, I'm not doing it. Third, I'm meticulously tracking all my weights for progressive overload, and my goal is to add a little weight or a rep each week. Now, since Brad's a beginner, I have to ease him into the workouts.
It's science-based to use cocaine as pre-workout.
So we're starting with 1 set per exercise in week 1, 2 sets in week 2, and then 3 sets from week 3 on. And yes, he has to run the exact same program as me for scientific control. It's definitely a bit too advanced for him, but I think he can do it for science.
You see that shakiness? That's how we know you're a new lifter. that is your body saying, what are you doing right now? I have not done this.
Just no stability, shaking like a leaf.
For that first week of training, my main priority is just getting Brad familiar with the technique on the different exercises in our program.
All you're gonna do?
All of this A year of scientific hypothesis to get mogged by a 16-year-old wrestler or football player on jacked 3D and SARMs. Isn't that crazy? That's how overpowered performance-enhancing substances are.
Is just stick your butt back as you lower the bar straight down with straight legs. Good. And then up.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. That's the whole movement.
Oh, okay.
Don't bring the bar out in front. Lower it straight down. It's not going to hit your knees because you're moving your butt back. There you go. That's it. That's your RDL. And you can stop about just below knee height. So we'll stop about there.
Okay.
We're not doing any failure training in week 1 or 2, just to get
All this versus one trenbolone sandwich. Makes you think. Makes you wonder.
adjusted. The real failure work is going to start in week 3.
All right, man. That's 1 week of training down.
I enjoyed it more than maybe I even thought I would, to be honest. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
You did it.
All of this to get mocked by a construction worker in jeans after work. That's facts. Those guys hate their lives. And they're strong as shit. They show up in Timberlands with no laces. Fucking the dirtiest pair of jeans you ever seen in your entire life. In like 4 Carhartt t-shirts. Drinking a white Monster.
Because now it's just repeating that 52 times.
All right. Nice. Well, 51.
Oh, 51
Come on
times.
now.
That's right. That's right.
By week 3, we were cruising. The initial soreness from starting a new program had settled down, and before we knew it, it was time.
It makes you wonder, all of this delicate gym training versus just like a day of manual labor. Moving stones, laying brick, fucking roofing.
For our first check-in.
Moment of truth. I'm a little nervous. Are you?
No. What am I nervous about?
So this was shocking. After just 1 month of training, Brad is already up 12.7 pounds of lean mass. His body fat percentage dropped from 36.2% down to 33%.
Oh, he's on roids. This is clenbuterol, testosterone, halo, deca, D-ball. He's running a full panel.
4%. And the ultrasound showed he gained 14 millimeters on his quads and 1 millimeter on his biceps. That's in 1 month.
Bruh. Nicely done, dude. Holy crap. I gotta tell mom that.
But my 1 month results were even more surprising.
So, wait, how much lean did I gain?
1,400 grams of lean mass, fat-free
Okay,
mass.
so 1.4 kilos.
of lean mass.
Believe it or not, I'm also up just over 3 pounds of lean mass. Unlike Brad, I did gain a little fat. My body fat went from 15.8% up to 16.7%. So with that check-in as a massive motivator, Brad and I got back to work. And in 5 months, we'll finish our bulking phase and do another check-in.
Jeff is twink maxing. He already got mogged.
People say that bulking is pointless because you just get fat. So how fat will we get? That's what we'll see in 5 months. At the 9-month mark, we'll do a third check-in. This will be the end of our recomp phase, where we'll try to build muscle and lose fat.
I don't think Jeff Nippard is natty. I've been saying that. That's my opinion.
At the same time. Most people say that's
He looks natty right now, but I don't think he's a lifetime natural.
impossible for advanced lifters, but I want to see for myself. Then after 12 months, we'll do our final update. This will be the end of our cut phase. I want to get back down to my starting body weight to see if I'll actually keep the muscle that I gained during my bulk, or if I just lose it all again and look exactly the same as before. You may also be wondering what we're doing for our diet. Obviously, we're both eating the exact same calories and macros. 3,000 calories, 150 grams of protein, 410 grams of carbs, and 85 grams of fat per day. And this is what a typical day of bulking meals looks like for me.
Turkey, egg, and cheese sandwich with fruit. Ground turkey and rice. Protein shake, banana, Gatorade. Greek yogurt, peanut butter, dip with apple slices and popcorn. Chicken wrap. Nice. Where's the beef? Where is the steak? From a sheer aura perspective, bro.
if you want to pause and screenshot. All this means that I'm eating about 15% above my maintenance calories, and I'm aiming to gain around 2 pounds per month. Now, obviously, Brad shouldn't be bulking at 33% body fat. To get his best possible transformation, I should absolutely put him in a 5 to 20% caloric deficit and have him lose fat while building muscle. But I can't do that. If Brad's in a deficit while I'm in a surplus, that's an uncontrolled variable. And we need every variable to be the same except our training experience. So, unfortunately for Brad, he has to eat the same calories as me for science.
And I didn't realize I ate so much fat. Every night it's like, I've run out of fat, but I got like 30 carbs left, so I just gotta drink a glass of orange juice. I've just been staring at this orange juice now for like 10 minutes. I really just don't want to drink it. I kind of just hate orange juice now.
Who hates orange juice? That shit is nectar of the gods.
So, every single day, we're tracking every calorie we eat.
Weirdest thing has happened. I was having this dream about like work. I went out to lunch. I realized that I didn't track the calories or anything for the lunch that I just had, and it was like fast food too. And there was like a bag of like Skittles or something that I was eating, and I was trying to like scan it with my phone while my coworker was like talking to me and stuff and getting angry. And then I dropped some, and like it literally just like landed in like a pile of dirt. And I was like, oh, I don't have a scale, so like how am I gonna know how many grams of candy I just...
What's the point of getting two guys with different bodies on the same calories?
This is what we call a control in a science experiment.
lost and all this stuff. So I guess I've started dreaming about counting calories now.
It sounds like a lot of work, especially for someone new to tracking macros, but because we've been using my nutrition app Macro Factor, it's super easy.
I'm being sold too. I'm sitting through a VSL.
The app has a fast barcode scanner that quickly
This is an ad.
pulls up the macros, and it has multi-food plate logging to capture many foods at once. It only takes me about 5 to 10 minutes a day to get everything tracked. It's the app we're both using every day for the whole year. And if you'd like to try it out for yourself, I'll put a free 2-week trial in the description box below. Just use code Jeff when you download the app, and you'll get 2 weeks for free. Whether your goal is to build muscle, lose fat, or do both at the same time, the app will use advanced algorithms to scientifically...
Just do GOMAD in 5x5. Dude, there's a reason why bro science is still around. Because it works. You're telling me you're not going to build muscle drinking a gallon of milk a day? Doing 5x5 Jason Blaharino strong lifts? Please, take me back to the good old days. Sitting down with my anabolic window protein shake, watching Rich Piana and the Hodge twins and Elliot Hulse schizo rant about how to breathe into his balls.
guarantee that you reach your goal as long as you follow the plan. All you have to do is track what you eat and log your weight. That's it. Sleep is another big part of this experiment. Brad and I both wear an Oura ring every night, aiming for 8 to 9 hours of sleep, and we're trying to go to sleep and wake up around the same time as well to set our circadian rhythm.
So, I had a Whoop.
It's a sleep tracking bracelet.
I was super excited when I got it. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to dial in my sleep, okay? My girlfriend had an Oura ring. I don't think she uses it anymore. These different sleep trackers. It's part of this hyper-optimization, biohacking, neuroticism.
Well, I will not have a good day if I don't get 8 or 9 hours.
That's I gotta leave that in the past. I can't be living like that, okay? Some days I get a lot of sleep. Some days I wake up at the ass crack of dawn and I get to it. Nothing's perfect. You need to be anti-fragile. Because you know what happens? You can fall into the trap of coming up with excuses for yourself.
Well, my training is going to suck because my sleep score is only 76%.
And you just ruminate and you search for these outs. You become a victim. The human experience is not designed to be looked at in a spreadsheet.
New research shows that it's not just about the total sleep you get, your sleep-wake schedule also matters. Supplements are a small part of this, but here's the list of supplements that we're both taking if you want to pause and read. No steroids, obviously. Yet. Just kidding. I think. Okay.
Let's see. Creatine, protein powder, caffeine, fish oil, ashwagandha, multivitamin, vitamin D, magnesium. I don't take shit. Just get all my vitamins, nutrients, and minerals from the food and water I drink.
Okay, so this is our full plan, and for the next 5 months, we're just going to follow it.
Drive it, drive it. Go again. Get a big breath. Come on, push it, push it, push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. They're so close. Oh no.
No melatonin, no vitamin D, no magnesium, no zinc for the loads. Nothing, nada, zero. Nope. Not even a Flintstone vitamin.
2 months into the experiment, and I'm doing a 3-week writing retreat in Mexico with Steph.
Wow.
This is where I'm going to finish writing my first hard copy book. Travel always throws me off a bit for the first couple days, but once I found a really cool gym and a grocery store, I was able to lock in.
Have you guys ever went to a GNC? Let's be real about supplements for a second. There's always an Indian guy who looks like he fucking can't even bench the bar, trying to rope me into a payment plan of BCAAs, protein powder, creatine, protein bars. Fuck off. Test boosters.
And while there are more temptations and very delicious tacos and tequila down here, with a 3,000 calorie per day bulking budget, I was able to fit in a little Mexican delicacy without any issues. One of the beauties of bulking. After Mexico, one of the hardest things for me.
$50 for random fucking Chinese powder tainted with fucking actual steroids.
Was balancing the training I needed to shoot for videos and balancing my own actual off-camera training. A few of the tier list videos took me 7 or 8 hours to film with all those exercises, and then I'd
Phil doesn't know that salesmen exist. Salesmen need to be fucking drawn and quartered in the town square. No aura in a salesman.
still have to actually train after.
I'll buy your product if it's good!
For this year, regardless of what I'm filming, I'm still getting all my workouts in. Yesterday I did a collab with Jesse James West. We filmed a few workouts for his channel. Normally I would count that as my workout, whereas yesterday, after we filmed for a couple hours, got a bite to eat, and then did my workout even though like I really didn't want to. It's those little things, like those workouts that you want to skip but don't skip. It's the sets where you don't want to push yourself but you do it anyway. I think that those things can really add up and make a big difference, and that's something that I've definitely learned on this experiment so far. I did a light deload week in
You're just never gonna convince me lifting is hard. I've done it. I've tried other workouts. Running is harder than hyper-optimized science-based lifting.
April. Not only is this a good idea regardless, but I was starting to get sick and my body was definitely overworking. I'm actually not feeling too well today, and so this is going to be the first day that I skip a workout that I have scheduled. Yeah, if I went to the gym today, I just know it would be a subpar workout, whereas if I rest today and then go tomorrow, I'll probably perform much better, or hopefully anyway. So just want to do a quick little update on that. After the deload, Brad, my dad, and I did a boys' trip to Arizona. I hadn't seen Brad for a while, so it was great to link up and get in some good workouts together.
Drive, 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 drive. Come on, Brad, come on.
What are we doing on the Smith machine, boys? What are we doing on the Smith machine?
Come on, you can do it. That was great. That was good.
My dad immediately commented on how much bigger I'm looking, and that's definitely true when I'm wearing clothes. But I think I'm actually looking softer and kind of smaller in my posing updates. Brad is definitely up in weight too, but the main thing I noticed is that he's so much stronger. It's kind of insane. He's actually getting close to using some of the weights that I'm using on back exercises. That's definitely his strong point. Today we went for a hike in Sedona, and I was starting to worry that maybe we were both gaining a bit too much weight. I decided to have a heart-to-heart check-in with Brad.
The cardio is not quite there yet.
Cardio needs to be there. Cardio is life-affirming. Lets you experience the world.
What would you say is something that you're most surprised by so far?
I'm noticing that my social anxiety is almost gone completely. And that was debilitating at times. Like you would go to a store and you just turn around in the parking lot and be like, yeah, not today. But now I don't even find myself like...
What? If I ever feel like I'm not going to do something because I'm being soy, I just think of the sunken cost. I'm already here. Now I have to do it.
Thinking about anything as I'm like going up to a counter, or if I'm approaching like customer services, I'll just go ask for something now. Before I was like, I'm figuring this out myself because I'm not getting any help.
This was a light bulb moment for me. This entire time, I've been so focused on the visual gains, I almost forgot about all the other life-changing benefits of lifting
I
weights.
just fucking think about Mishima. Yeah, I think about Sun and Steel.
Bob boy, let's go. Nice shot.
Back from Arizona, and it's time to buckle down before our 6-month check-in. I've only got 2 months left before the end of my bulk, and at this point, I'm feeling more motivated than ever. I definitely have some size on. Brad's feeling motivated too. He's much more of a night owl than me, so he'll often train later at night, but he still hasn't skipped a single workout, even if it means going to the gym at 3 a.m.
Going so late the lights are off. Oh, there we go. Walking in and all the lights turning on.
Yeah, that's necessary. You have to get your talking to NPC reps in. You need to be progressively overloading your social life.
And just like that, the end of the bulk, and it's time to see how much muscle we put on, and how much fat we put on.
All right, dude. Ready for the 6-month physique check-in?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Give me a flex.
Give me a shoulder flex.
Like
just kind of...
what do you want?
So we both put on 15 pounds.
Yeah.
How many of those pounds for you are lean
He looks much better.
out of the 15?
Did you say 3?
3 pounds were lean. It's definitely more than that.
Yeah.
At the end of the 6-month bulk, Brad is up 13 pounds of lean mass, and his body fat percentage is down 1.2%. He went from 36.2% at the beginning to 35.0% now, and that's while eating 3,000 calories per day. It really goes to show the power of building muscle. I was a little confused at first though, because when you look at his 1-month data, it looks like he gained
Imagine he's just blasting Tren.
12.7 pounds of lean mass in that first month, which means he only gained another 0.3 pounds of lean mass in the next 5 months? Probably not. Remember that lean mass includes muscle and water. And so I think a lot of Brad's initial gains were actually water gains from taking creatine for the first time and from getting rammed into a high volume training program. Regardless, his 6-month trend shows impressive body recomposition, being up 13 pounds of lean mass while being down 1.2% body fat. Okay, my turn.
You get the results? Are they in?
They're in.
After 6 months of fully optimized training, and with more than 15 years of training already under my belt, I added 4.5 pounds of lean mass. The thing was, I also gained, ready for this? 11 pounds of fat.
Many such cases.
That's a bit much. It means my body fat went from 15% at the beginning to just over 20% now. I'm kind of excited to cut down and see how much muscle I retain. But let's put this in context. If we pretend this chicken breast is my lean mass and this pile of lard is my fat mass, this is what I put on my body during the bulk. Again, not all my lean mass is pure muscle tissue, some of it is water. But yes, I did put on 4.5 pounds of lean mass. But I also put on this big pile of fat.
If he was on Turk, he would look like the Hulk, that's right.
So now, the real question is, what will happen if I lose all this extra fat? Will I keep this new muscle that I added, or will I lose that too?
All right,
You'll probably lose it too.
that's 6 months of that.
So, for the recomp phase, we're dropping our calories down to 2,800 calories per day, which MacroFactor says is our new maintenance intake. And these will be our new macros to follow for the next 3 months. And again, our goal for this phase is to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time while maintaining our weight. A few weeks into the recomp phase, the first thing I notice is that my strength is basically hitting a plateau. It's not a big deal, I'm still pushing just as hard, I'm just not seeing my numbers go up every week like I was during the bulk. But I do feel like my physique is tightening up a bit.
Definitely think when I cut down, I'm gonna be a lot fuller, rounder, have better shape, because I can notice the increase in muscularity now, even at a higher body fat. Once I trim the body fat off, I think it's actually gonna be a pretty big visual difference, honestly. I feel better about it than I expected to.
1 month into the recomp
He
phase,
spent 6 months getting fat when he could have done it in 2 weeks. Dude, I went on one of the most diabolical dirty bulks ever. It just works. Like, I don't... I was eating a pint of ice cream a night. I was getting the most sugar, diabetes-pilled Starbucks drinks just for the carbs and fat. I was eating donuts just for fun.
Brad and I went to Japan for 3 weeks.
So for this trip, also I got a haircut. For this trip, we're gonna do as much walking as possible because we're in recomp mode. So we're not gonna take...
I'm pretty sure my blood pressure went through the roof. Anytime I went upstairs, I'd be out of breath. It was not ideal, but I was a brick shithouse. I was strong as shit. Had the whole college looking at my squats, admiring my ass.
The escalator, we're gonna actually walk.
Why did I stop shaking my head? Because I didn't want to leave humanity behind. I didn't want to get another chin. Not ideal.
We had an absolute blast, but the trip was our biggest challenge.
I'm pretty sure I was working while going to school on campus just to fund my Chipotle. I needed double meat and guac. The cafeteria was not cutting it.
Yet, especially diet-wise. I found it hard to get enough protein in, and we both got a little more
Some people have been non-stop dirty bulking since COVID. Yo, I had to catch myself. I'm down 20 pounds since COVID. I'm a lean, mean machine these days. Not diced, not shredded, but athletic and dialed. That's how we keep it here at Third Eye Global.
Flexible with our diet than would have been truly optimal.
Tuna.
Oh, Toro. Oh.
Can I try it?
I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, that was so good. Right? That was good. So good.
We still got everything tracked, and I don't think we got too far off, but we were a bit more lenient than usual. And sushi was definitely the highlight. I've never had such delicious fish in my life.
All right, it's our first workout in Japan. We're gonna switch over to a full body split. Full body, 3 days a week, and that'll just allow us to get in slightly more efficient workouts and not spend quite so much time in the gym so we can actually enjoy Japan.
Tokyo was a gorgeous city, so clean and futuristic. We also got to see some incredible shrines.
Fascist. What do you mean by that? So clean. So pure. I need to go to Japan. I need to go to Japan with the boys now.
And parks in Kyoto. Once we got back home, we switched back to the tried and true upper-lower push-pull legs hybrid split, still taking the last set of every exercise to failure.
Oh yeah, let's see this fifth one. Smoke it, smoke it. Go down again, you got another one, I know you do. Go down one more time and I'm with you, okay? I'm with you. Drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it. Yes, sir. Come on, dude. Come on. Good job.
Natty 100 viewers over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Philion TV.
Good job.
Oh, God. Oh, it hurts so much. Oh, I don't know where to go.
I was maintaining my weight at around 180 pounds, and I felt like my physique was looking a bit sharper. The month of September flew by.
I wish I had the Costco guys. to cheer me on while I lift. Boom!
And it was time for our post-recomp check-in. Did I manage to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, or did I just spin my wheels for the last 3 months? Let's find out.
Moment of truth.
Turns out, I actually lost 0.8 pounds of lean mass since our last check-in. That's within the DEXA's margin of error, but it's still a bit disappointing. It's also kind of what I expected.
I feel like creatine skews these results. Just holding on to so much more water.
At my level of advancement, I think you really need at least a slight caloric surplus to keep muscle growth moving. Maintenance calories probably just won't cut it. I guess it's also possible that switching to the full body split and our time in Japan threw me off a bit, but I was still training super hard and I was still eating a high protein diet. So I really just think that maintenance calories wasn't enough to drive new growth for me, at least not within 3 months. On the upside, I did lose half a pound of fat, so my body fat percentage dropped ever so slightly. Brad's results were a bit better. He lost 3.5 pounds of fat, and this got his body fat percentage down to 33.8%. And that's despite not actually doing a fat loss phase yet. He did lose 0.7 pounds of lean mass since the last check.
People say creatine is good for your brain. I feel like that's cope.
It's neuroprotective.
Are you sure? Is that how that works?
No, it's true, Philion. I looked at the studies.
Check-in, but that's also within the margin of error, and I suspect that if there was any loss, it's probably not actual muscle tissue, especially since he didn't lose any strength. You see, at every check-in, we've also been testing our muscle strength using this Biodex isokinetic dynamometer. Basically, you just press it
Should I fucking break the machine? That's me, though.
against this foot pad as hard as you can, and the computer measures how hard you pushed. Since the beginning of the experiment, Brad's strength has trended up. My strength also trended up, but not by as much as Brad's. And at my last check-in, it was down a bit. So this time, I was determined to have my best strength test yet. I buckled myself into the machine, and on command, I pressed as hard
Get ready for blast off.
as I possibly could.
I feel like I would shart and pop a blood vessel, have an aneurysm, stroke out, all at the same time. I'd be covered in poop and blood.
I got a massive isokinetic
That's the sound of science right there.
dynamometer PR of 359.2 Newton meters. We always take 3 measurements though, so I buckled back in for round 2.
2, 1.
No, hold on. I felt something really weird in my knee.
And I injured my knee.
I was gonna say, how does this measure strength? Why don't we hit the squat rack? Why don't we test our 1-rep maxes on the compounds? This is giving that one punch machine that everybody soy faces over, the boxing bag.
Partially torn tendon. So that sucks. I'm leaving this recomp phase not only having gained 0 muscle
Bro, I'd be so pissed if I just got injured doing nothing.
in the last 3 months, but with a freshly injured knee. So I just finished up the first workout, basically the first rehab workout after I injured my knee. I'm basically using lighter weights with a really slow tempo for now. So I've been using a 3-second negative, pause in the stretch, 3-second positive.
Just push all strength into something that can't move. That's like running into a brick wall at max speed. And then measuring the aftermath.
That will keep some tension on the quads, but it just pales in comparison to the intensity and the load that I'd normally use. Not an ideal way to kick off the cut, but this is just a normal part of training.
Imagine injuring yourself on test day.
I think you could make the case that the more you try to optimize, the higher your risk of having a setback is as well. Even though in this case, I don't think it had anything to do with my training. I think it was just being fasted, not having anything to eat, and then having to go and do an all-out isometric strength test is probably not like the safest thing in the world. And we also, because of like time constraints and everything, didn't do any warm-up before that test. So like, regardless, it is what it is. It happens. Could have been worse. My physiotherapist said it'd probably be at least a month or 2 of rehab. So I did my best to keep things optimistic and really just focus on getting all that.
I hate this machine, bro. This machine is the Knee Snapper 9000. I think it's good for physical therapy, and that's about it.
Excess fat off.
You want to bulletproof your knees. Do plyometrics.
And finishing off this experiment as strong as I can, given the circumstances.
It's officially time to start the cut.
Nice. I am tired of having extra weight on, and I'm excited to get into some like cleaner eating and just like not having to gorge myself every day.
Yeah, for a cut, we're dropping down to 2,200 calories per day and bumping our protein up to 190 grams. It's actually really exciting to have a new goal, and I'm pumped to see Brad finally start his weight loss journey. About a month into the cut, my motivation really started to ramp up. I had to train my quads with really light
I'm about to text my max strength. Let me just not eat and not warm up.
weights for a while, but my strength was starting to come back. I was also finally getting to see the gains that I'd made during the bulk, and the fat was melting off. Since it worked so well during the bulk, we decided to keep going with the upper-lower push-pull leg split, swapping out a few exercises, but keeping the overall structure the same. For my own recovery, I started stopping about 1 rep shy of
Hey, that's Christian Guzman!
failure on compound lifts. That's just because I really didn't want an upper body injury to deal with too, and with less calories, you do need to be a little more careful. I'm still pushing the last sets of all the isolation exercises to failure though. And with some good visual changes happening, we were both determined to hold on to as much of that muscle we built as humanly possible. At the 1 year mark, Brad and I aren't quite back to our starting body weight yet, and I really need us to both get back to the weight we started the experiment at for the true test of net muscle gain. I don't want to rush things and crash diet either, since I know that can accelerate muscle loss.
I think I'm going to extend it until March, under the assumption that we're both giving it 100%. If you're in, I'm in.
Yeah, man, 100%.
So we locked back in for another 2 months, and then it was time for the final check-in.
I'm so excited for this to be done. It's been so long.
It blew my mind that we both nailed the weigh-ins exactly, to the decimal. I started this experiment at 164.6 pounds, and I'm ending it just over 1 year later at exactly 164.6 pounds. The question is,
Jeff looking absolutely dialed?
am I carrying more muscle now? Let's start with Brad's final results.
All right, Brad, any final words? Nope.
After the cut, he has
49.
Wow, that's good. So he's up 4 kilos of lean mass.
Lean mass, yeah.
That means from the start of the experiment to now, he's up 10 pounds of lean mass and down, get this, 10 pounds of fat mass. That's incredible. And his final strength test was also his best ever. Perhaps even cooler though, his Oura Ring is now saying that his heart health has improved by about 4 years. Amazing stuff. Okay, and as for me,
I just want fries.
Props to Brad. 1 year, not bad. Lost weight, gained muscle. He's looks maxing.
Chicken burger, fries, and just some really good tequila, bro.
Yeah.
He's no longer medically obese. BMI, under 30.
okay, so from the beginning of the experiment to the end of the experiment, at the exact same body weight, I gained
0 muscle.
2.7 pounds of lean mass. That may not sound like much to some of you, but think about it. This is what the lean mass I added would look like if it were ribeye steaks. So that's basically like putting on almost 4 huge steaks worth of tissue in 1 year. And at just under 5'5", adding that much tissue across my body is gonna make a visual difference. I definitely see the biggest difference in my chest and my back, but I see some gains in my shoulders and hamstrings too. Now, if you remember, the reason I cut down is because I really wanted to see how much muscle I'd retain from my bulk. So at the end of my bulk, I was up 4.5 pounds of lean mass, and now I'm still up 2.7 pounds of lean mass. So yes, I did retain most of those.
Is this even worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? My opinion is no shot. Obsessively tracking every single calorie, meal, workout, every last set to failure. The constant headache of, holy shit, I'm doing this science experiment. science-based lifting.
Gains while cutting down. I kept more than half the lean mass that I put on, which I think is pretty solid. I'm also leaner now. I started the experiment at 15.8% body fat, and now I'm down to 14.5% body fat. So not only did I shred all the 11 pounds of fat that I put on during the bulk, I also lost another 2 pounds of fat beyond that.
I feel like he could have just cut. I feel like he could have avoided the bulk and just cut. Took a slight strength hit, but aesthetically looked the same.
The ultrasound results also showed that I gained net muscle in my biceps even after the cut. My quads also grew significantly during the bulk, but basically came back.
And I feel like a different training stimulus, like any sport, would add some form of musculature based on the stimulus demand of said activity.
Back down to baseline after the cut. I'm going to blame that on my knee injury, especially my left quad, which did lose more muscle, and that
2.7 pounds over 10 years is 27 pounds low-key solid. Yeah, but it's exponential. There's diminishing returns. You can't do this every single year and get 2.7 pounds. You can't add 27 pounds of lean mass to this already maxed out perceived natural frame. If he were to do this again, following the same protocol, he might gain 1 pound.
That's the knee that I injured. I did hold on to some net muscle gain on my right quad though, even after the cut. Also, for the sake of scientific transparency, we also took BIA, or bioelectrical impedance measurements, throughout the study. This is the type of device you'll often see in commercial gyms. It says that I lost 1 pound of lean mass. This probably would have gutted me if I didn't have access to higher quality, more expensive, and more sensitive equipment. BIA has about twice the error margin of a DEXA machine, and I honestly just think my gains were well within the error bars for that device. Plus, the DEXA results, the ultrasound results, the strength result.
He's not flexing his back in the same way. Look at his arm angle. He's flaring out the lats more. He's leaned back. It looks like there's better lighting. I don't even know if there's a difference, bro.
And the before and after photos all quite clearly show that I made gains. So I say this just to say that you shouldn't feel bad if you get a BIA test done and the results aren't what you expected. They're often not sensitive enough to detect real changes in muscle mass.
These are some IG model tactics. That's right.
Inexperienced lifters. So the question we all want to know, am I going to use steroids? No. I think I proved to myself that I can still make gains, even 15 years deep, if I really commit. I don't have any regrets about the training program, but if I had my time back, I think I would have bulked a little less aggressively. I think that if I had gained, say, half the weight during my bulk, I may have gained a similar amount of lean mass, but with less fat. As for
chat, what do we say to this, bro? Natty? There's just no way. There's just no way.
For the so-called natural ceiling, I still do think it theoretically exists, at least on paper. If you could just keep building muscle indefinitely, anyone still lifting in their 70s or 80s would be the biggest bodybuilders alive. But I think I did show that you can kind of push your natural ceiling up with optimized training and diet. At the very least, I think I showed that's possible. So my next goal now is to get shredded, properly shredded, under 8% body fat. And Brad said he's gonna keep going.
A little pose down.
Training with the best natural bodybuilder in the world.
Here with the world champ.
Bro, Yeah, he's natty. That's just BBC genetics. See, I have to question the judgment if you think this fucking guy is natural. That's 100% Capri Sun. It's just duck eggs, bro. It looks more impressive because he's short. Yeah, there's something off. There's something off about it, though. Snow Bunny mind control? I'm being psyoped. Somebody's lying to me. I don't like it.
Trying to get as many reps as possible.
You know what's funny? I use the same weights. And I don't look anything like that guy. It's because he's black.
I just want to win.
Somebody that's rich or does well, I don't automatically assume that person's got like a handout in life. I assume they worked hard for what they have. That's always going to be my mentality. That might not be true, but that's what I allow myself to believe. I easily believe people. If you tell me you're natural, I expect you to tell me the truth. And I have no reason to believe otherwise until proven guilty. Because I have...
Just need to take some fish oil, you know? Lube up my joints. Maybe I can synthesize more muscle.
Friends that are freaks and are natural, so I've seen that. So of course I know it's natural. So it's hard for me to see somebody that's not natural. I'm like, oh wow, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a situation to allow yourself to be successful, right?
Yeah, he just trains harder than us. Damn. I hate when people train harder than me.
Going with the cut too. Actually, well, I was editing this video.
Why did he take off his pants for the interview? That's a great question.
He lost another 5 or 6 pounds, and this was his latest physique update that he just sent me. I want to get in my best shape ever this year. If you're looking to do the same, I'd recommend running my new upper-lower push-pull legs program for yourself. It's the same program we ran for this experiment, except it's written to be more individualized to you. So there's a beginner version and an intermediate to advanced version, and I give you 2 substitution options for every exercise and full instructions on how to swap exercises in and out. I'm calling it the Bodybuilding Transformation System because it really is more than just a program. There's video demos for every exercise, volume analytics, technique cues, and a full handbook explaining all the science behind the program. If you run this for the next 6 months, I guarantee you'll build muscle. If you don't, I'll give you a full refund, no questions asked. I truly believe this is the most effective program I've ever written, and I had a blast running it. You can pick up either the beginner version or the intermediate to advanced version on jeffnippard.com.
Do you think the brother's transformation would have been as substantial if he just followed a regular strength training protocol? Or do you think the science-based lifting was the difference? If you take somebody who doesn't work out to then working out, you're going to get some great results. Am I being sold to? I'm being sold to. I'm sitting through a VSL. He should have not bulked. I agree. There is no need to bulk when you're already fat, when you're a high-calorie individual. Just lift. Let the metabolism start kicking in you go from a sedentary way of life to a more active way of life. That's all there is to it. Progressive overload, compound lifts, cardio. In my opinion, add a sport. Yeah, your body will figure out the recomposition like that. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, I'm out the door.
And it's 25% off for launch week. If you're watching this video after launch week, I'll still go ahead and leave a discount code in the description box below.
Yeah, I don't work out. I work from home.
So you can still save some money. Now, obviously, it's not enough to just dial your training in. Your diet is also super important.
5 to 6, I'm in the mix. 7 to 8, I'm fucking late. You're all late to the movement if you're not watching Philion TV on Twitch.
So you can download my nutrition app Macro Factor for 2 weeks for free, which is like having me as your own personal nutrition coach, but for a tiny fraction of the cost. Oh, and when it was all said and done, I did end up getting what I really wanted.
I'll do six McNuggets with large fries.
Imagine he was like, 6 Big Macs, 4 Filet-O-Fishes, I want 9 McChickens, 2 McRibs, a cinnamon bun, large Diet Coke, because I'm trying to watch my figure, and I'll take the chocolate chip cookie tote bag. I'll take 10 cheeseburgers.
And then I'll also add a McCrispy.
3 barbecue sauces, 2 honey mustard, and 5 sweet and sour.
Bro. Very good. This is exactly what I wanted.
Nice.
You know what's crazy? You could have just eaten a McDouble, and you would have been fine. The macros on that shit are cracked. I mean, nobody talks about balance. Nobody talks about self-improvement, followed by self-destruction. Makes you feel alive. Yo, I'll take 3 glizzies for your boy.
Hey, what's up, man? Yo, what's up? Not much, man. Just barbecuing, relaxing. I'm so good.
He lost a lot of weight. He looks good. I'm impressed.
We're done.
Done. Bro, that was just the first part. Yeah, we've got a whole other experiment to do.
Oh.
Hey, I'll see you at the gym, bro.
Yeah, okay.
They call me the Glizzy Goblin. A barbecue fucking hates to see your boy coming. I only work out so I could pound glizzies. There's a lesson in there. That was a fast clip. Yep. Nice vid. Nice vid. Now it's time to crank up the soy. Can we do it? 99 natties. That's all you need. That's all you need for a revolution. Somebody's got to call up their mother and tell them to get on the stream. Say, Mom, there's a handsome, cute young boy with a large phallus. And he's streaming right now. 104. We could take on a fucking gorilla. We could take on a gorilla. That's right. 3-4, I'm out the fucking door. On a lunch break, nice to be here. The fantastic wit. Welcome to the stream, brother. Yo, life hack? Treat yourself to some new clothes. Gotta do at least 10K, that's right, Marin. Listen, I'm not gonna settle until we get at least 10K. As I was saying, life hack. Get yourself some new clothes. Okay?